Hey everybody, happy Thursday to you. Another high school football Thursday, which is surprising. This is the high school football preview where Tom Markowski and I are just going to look over a couple of games that we'll be featuring on our shows State Champs and State Champs Extra Point. I do want to also promote the radio show that is every Friday night on 105.1 from 10 to 11 p.m. Tom and I and Scott Bernstein joins the conversation too. Going to break down all the latest scores, so we'll talk about what took place tonight and what takes place tomorrow night, and again, it's a great hour on 105.1. State Champs main event this week, which you can watch on Fox Sports Detroit at 9 a.m. on Sunday. 1-0 Allen Park at Wyandotte Roosevelt, and it's hard to believe, but this might decide the Downriver League in week 2.
Well, it's similar to Chippewa Valley and Dakota this week too. You have the two best teams in the Downriver playing week 2, and neither one of them was really tested first week, especially Allen Park. So, and Tom Hoover at Allen Park knew that weeks 2, 3, and 4 were going to decide the season. This one especially, and I wrote that whoever wins this game is going to have the inside track on the race in the Downriver League. Now it looks like Trenton might be that third place team just by going by the first week scores. Still early, but the big dogs are Allen Park and Wyandotte. Wyandotte kind of owned Allen Park recently, winning 6 straight before losing last year. And Wyandotte, Ron Adams, they've really been the power down there.
Yeah, 1-0 Walled Lake Northern at 1-0 Livonia Stevenson. Northern's been building this juggernaut.
I actually thought of going to this game. I think it's intriguing in the sense that Livonia Stevenson is the favorite to win the Central Division. They did look good last week. But they gave up a lot of points.
Yeah, 39 to Franklin.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that because Walled Lake Northern is a really tough offense to stop. They really put their how should I say, all their money in that one bag of their offense. And it's a veer concept. They run it spread, so they like to spread you to run the ball. A lot of teams spread you to throw the ball. They spread you to run the ball. And they put up some really serious
57-0 over Bloomfield.
So there was talk. Obviously, Walled Lake Western's the team to beat KLA North, but who's that second team? And it could be Northern. It could be Waterford Mott, who got off to a good start too. So I think what you have here is a good crossover of a top team from the North against the team that's supposed to win the Central. But for what it's worth, the Central has not been as tough as the North recently, or the West, or the South. They can kind of been the little sister of the pack. This is a chance for Livonia Stevenson to show they've grown up.
The little sister. We'll get the emails to Tom for that one.
Quite all right.
Another game that will be exclusively on Extra Point. We go to the MAC now, and it is 1-0 Utica at 1-0 Utica Ford. Always a great rivalry game. Utica coming off a big 10-point win, 41-31 over Fraser, and Utica Ford beat Ypsilanti Lincoln 30-40.
Well, Utica was supposed to be better this year. I wasn't sure when Ford was going to fit into this picture. The whole MAC really had a really interesting first week. The MAC Red swept, so they were 6-0, and then you have the white teams like a Romeo and Grosse Pointe South both winning.
Cousino.
And Cousino. You're right. The white did awfully well too, and I actually call some of those teams pink. They're almost red, but they're still in the white, and the Romeo really fits that. They really should be in the red. But this game, I think it could help decide either team's fate as they go on because you talk about the rivalry, the Utica school system. You have Sterling Head Stevenson and Utica Eisenhower is the other two. Yep. But you have a really strong offense coming out of Utica and Coach Tony Smith. A kid named Gwilly. I won't even try to pronounce his first name, but he had
Gwilly, something along
397, 6 touchdowns, about 27 carries. That's those phenomenal numbers.
Let's quickly just promote as we leave here the preview. We appreciate you watching the radio show tomorrow night. Who do we have on?
The fastest hour in prep sports, I'll tell you. It just whizzes by.
Yeah.
We're going to have Des Fitzpatrick, the fine receiver, everything, talking to Chris Farr. He's doing everything. Chris was telling me he's better than he thought he was going to be. Obviously, coming in from Farmington, highly touted receiver, but he's a really fine defensive back, and he's got a returning punts and kickoffs.
Yeah, at Waterford Mott.
Yes, and they're playing South Lyon this week, so we'll have Des on there, and then we'll hopefully have Brad Zuby on from Rochester Hill Stony Creek. They're trying to bounce back after a good performance. They were down by 21 to Rochester Adams last week, made it really close. So close, they were down a touchdown, and they had a 4th and goal at the 1, threw an incomplete pass. interference, gave them another shot from the one, another incomplete pass. So they came that close to beating Adams.
All right, just want to quickly tell you the games that we've got on the show this weekend on State Champs. Wall Lake Northern at Livonia Stevenson. We'll have Paw Paw at Plainwell, so we'll be able to check that one out. Those will be interesting highlights. Lansing Sexton, we'll see if they can recover after losing last week. They'll be taking Granville. And we'll have some Flint area highlights, so expect those from Ryan Slocum. We'll get some games from the UP on this week's show, hopefully 2 to 3 games. We'll have some other sports as well, and we mentioned Allen Park at Wyandotte Roosevelt is our main event. And Ryan Terpstra has a feature on the kicker out at Rockford. So apparently he is the #1 kicker in the nation.
Likes to fly airplanes.
Yeah, you got to see how he committed to Penn State. It involves a private jet. That's all I'm going to say. Check it out on YouTube. Quickly on Extra Point, the games we'll be covering: Chippewa Valley at Macomb, Dakota. That's going to be a huge game. Utica at Utica Ford, as we talked about. Ferndale at Groves. That should be an interesting one. Waterford Mott, we just talked about Des Fitzpatrick. They're taking on South Lyon at South Lyon, so they got to go to the jungle, see if they can handle the what do they got? The milk carts. They shake them up. Renaissance at East English Village. That's going to be interesting, considering Renaissance was the team that beat Lansing Sexton.
Big shocker.
That'll be interesting. Mumford at Denby. Always a good game. Again, in that other division in the PSL. Walled Lake Northern at Livonia Stevenson. We talked about Dearborn Belleville. Could be interesting.
Black and orange against black and orange.
That's right. Halloween night out there at Belleville. Beautiful school now since they rebuilt it, no doubt. Marine City at St. Clair. Marine City losing to Algonac, so that'll be interesting. St. Clair, I believe, lost as well last week.
They gave up a bunch of points.
Both of them need that. And finally, Rochester Adams at Southfield. We'll see if Adams can keep things going, because they've kind of been down for the last year and a half or so. And Southfield obviously coming off a pretty disappointing loss to Cass.
Well, not so much they lost it, just how they lost.
So they'd like to get a win.
The white season starts in the OAA. I'll be there.
All right, State Champs is on 9 a.m. Sunday mornings on Fox Sports Detroit. They also re-air it several times through the week, so check the guide if you miss it at 9. But State Champs Extra Point is on every Sunday morning, 11:30 WXYZ. And the radio show Friday night, 10 to 11 p.m. on Detroit Sports 105.1. Thank you so much. We'll see you.